Salvete omnes. If you'd like to support the channel along with these patrons, there's a link in the description box below. Learning the body parts in Latin can also help us learn advanced vocabulary in English, as many medical and obscure terms were derived from these words. But you'll probably find that many of these words are quite easy to learn since they are very similar to their English translations. This lesson will go through a description of some parts of the human body, beginning with Caput est pars corporis hominis. Can you recognize the meaning of caput from the word decapitate? That's right, this word means head, and the word pars means part. Knowing that this means part, can you guess what declension this is? Third declension. As you might have guessed, the rest of the forms have the stem part. It is only the nominative and vocative forms that are irregular. So for example, parts would be partes. So can you guess the meaning of this sentence? The head is part of the human body. The word corporis is evident from the words corpse, corpus, corporation, etc. Then we have in capite sunt Oculī et aures, Nāsus et os. Capite is the ablative form of this third declension noun. But the word oculus is a second declension noun, so Oculī is the plural form, as is aures. And a monoculus only needs to wear a monocle because this means one-eyed man. So oculus is an eye, which means that auris is an ear. The ao tells us this has something to do with audio or sound. And these can help us learn the following English words. Aural, pertaining to the ear or hearing. Ocular, connected with eyes or vision. And an ocular lens is an eyepiece. Nāsus should be a gimme. This is the organ that leads to our nasal passage, or nose. Os is easier to understand in its plural form, ora. Now it's clear that this means mouth. Maybe you can remember the singular form by thinking an oyster is just one big os. Then we have Vidēmus Oculīs nostrīs. We see with our eyes. Remember, the ablative form can be used on its own to give the meaning by means of or with. And another similar sentence is Oculīs vidēmus et auribus audimus. We see with our eyes and hear with our ears. These verbs are easy to learn, right? In first person they are video and audio. The next sentence is also pretty easy to figure out. Lingua et dentēs in ore sunt. The tongue and teeth are inside the mouth. Lingua means both language and tongue, just like tongue can also mean language in English. Dentēs should be pretty clear from the word dentist and dental, and ore is the ablative form of os. Then we are left with sunt, but by now you should be able to see that this is the prefix in combined with the verb sunt. So this literally means they are in. And what colors are these body parts? Dentēs sunt albī et lingua est rubra. The teeth are white and the tongue is red. The word for white is albus and red is ruber. But here, albī is the plural form and rubra is the feminine form. Remember, est is like an equal sign, so the two nouns on each side must match. Can you think of how to say red wine? Vinum rubrum. This is the neutral form. I think this form is easier to remember if you have read or watched The Shining, because it looks like red rum, or murder spelled backward. And now, where's the head? Caput est super collum. The head is above the neck. We can remember this word because the neck is part of the spinal column and looks like a column. The preposition super triggers the accusative, but actually this is a neutral second declension noun, just like Vinum. So the accusative and nominative forms are both collum. And the ablative form of this word is sub collo est pectus. Below the neck is the chest. Pectoralis major, or pec, came from the word pectus. And the ablative form of this word is in pectore cor et pulmones sunt. What's inside the chest? The heart and lungs. Can you guess which is which? The heart is the core of a person. And you've heard of a pulmonologist, right? A specialist in the respiratory system, the main part of which is the lungs. And here's another sentence with these organs. Cor et pulmones sunt viscera humana. Although in English, viscera usually refers just to the organs in the stomach, in Latin, viscera can mean any internal organs. Okay, let's play with the words for the body parts we learned before going through the story again. Try to guess what the following sentence means. Oculos aperet. He opens his eyes. An aperture is an opening, like the aperture on a camera. Try to say now, please open your mouth. Aperi os quaeso. And can you say, my nose is red? Nāsus meus rubrum est. Here's another related sentence you should be able to guess. Naso olfacimus. We smell with our noses. Olfaction is the sense of smell. And here's an aphorism involving two of these body parts. Try to guess what the last word means. Oculī sunt cordis fenestrae. The eyes are the heart's windows. Cordis is the genitive form of cor. And if you have a really large vocabulary, you might know the word defenestration, which is the act of throwing things out of a window. Otherwise, you're just going to have to memorize this word, unless you speak a Romance language, in which case you already know it. Okay, let's go through the story one more time. Caput est pars corporis hominis. In capite sunt oculi et aures, Nāsus et os. Vidēmus Oculīs nostris. Oculīs vidēmus et auribus audimus. Lingua et dentēs in ore insunt. Dentēs sunt albī et lingua est rubra. Caput est super collum. Sub collo est pectus. In pectore cor et pulmones sunt. Cor et pulmones sunt viscera humana. The parts of the body aren't so hard since many of the words were incorporated into English. Hopefully you will be able to acquire these words very quickly. See you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and if you can, help support the channel on Patreon, where there are audio downloads and transcripts of each dialogue and story. Gratias!